Good evening. We are your hosts of Resistance Chicks, Leah and Michelle. Today is August 8th, 2017. It is a Tuesday. So, Leah, let's talk about this email that the New York Times put out there fishing.
Let's go to the failing New York Times! Once again, exclusive in Breitbart, but now it's all over. The deep state teams with fake news. Email evidence proves New York Times soliciting anti-Trump bureaucracy leakers. Now that's a tongue twister, and I'm just going to let you know, New York Times is going into the White House to get some leaks and to try to take Trump down, because that little ad that we saw in the Super Bowl where New York Times said, oh, news is
ran all those words
and truth is
and
this,
different things.
and truth is this, and truth is hard. No. They're upset because we're not following their narrative anymore.
Right.
And so their main job is to get Trump out. So in order to do that, they need to find some dirt on him. Okay, this is not about truth. This is not about
But it's not even dirt that they want. They want some sort of false narrative that they can spin. It's like a writer that has writer block.
Exactly.
Okay, they haven't been able to come up with new lies about Donald Trump because they're stuck on Russia. They're not very creative in this writing process. So they have to have anything that can come out of the White House because they don't have a basis for a plot for a story. So
the reporters aren't just on the receiving end of these leaks. Like they're, getting these calls like, oh, I got a leak, I got a lead. No. They are actively seeking them out and soliciting government employees to become leakers who wouldn't have normally been. Once more, the emails demonstrate the Times colluded with the president of government union to encourage and solicit these leaks, something that may become highly problematic for both institutions. Thanks again for taking the time to speak today. Coral Davenport, an energy and environmental correspondent for the New York Times, writes in an email to John J. O'Grady of the E.P.A. Workers Union. O'Grady is the president of the AFGE Council 238 in Chicago, which represents EPA workers. As I mentioned, I'm working on a story looking specifically at concrete examples of unusual secretary at EPA. He continues, I've heard a lot of secondhand rumors, but in order to report these incidents, I'd need to have some firsthand or eyewitness accounts. I'm looking for examples of things like information being communicated only verbally when it would have historically been put in writing, people being told not to bring phones, laptops, or even take notes in meetings where they would in the past typically have done so, eyewitness accounts to things like the administrator or top political appointees refusing to use official email, phones, or computers, or any other specific firsthand examples. Now, which is very interesting, is that it just came out that Loretta Lynch was using her grandma's name as an alias in official emails.
She's not very smart if she's going to use a relation.
Right. So obviously Jeff Sessions and Donald Trump are trying to crack down on these leakers, but when you've got the New York Times and CNN, everybody putting holes in the boats. It also comes as EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt, the former Attorney General of Oklahoma, has emerged as one of the most successful cabinet level officials in Trump administration. So the EPA, we were talking about this earlier, weren't we? Where the EPA is under new leadership, and you've got these old Obama holdovers who are so angry they're quitting. They're just throwing their hands up in the air.
Bunch of hissy fits, which is good.
And this is just incredibly interesting. That in an editorial after the questionable Times piece on Pruitt, which was pretty much a hit piece, the Tulsa World newspaper in Oklahoma mocked the gray lady for making a mountain out of a molehill. And we're supposed to be shocked to learn that EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt is going home on the weekends. We're not. The Tulsa World's editorial board wrote under a headline, Heaven forfend, Scott Pruitt is going home on weekends, and the hit piece was that he had taken travel home like 10 times or whatever. What's more, Trump himself has ripped the New York Times in recent days via his Twitter. The failing New York Times, which has made every wrong prediction about me, including my big election win, apologized, is totally inept. A Times spokeswoman, Danielle Rhodes, told Breitbart News there is nothing abnormal about these emails, but she's just trying to get facts. And it's interesting to me that they are going after Donald Trump, and CNN, MSNBC. Joe Scarborough said yesterday or something that he would have Trump on suicide watch after the poll numbers, CNN's poll numbers, show Trump losing support.
Because Trump is going to listen to the CNN poll numbers that predicted that he would lose.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. So we had to bring this because Leah and I used to read the Tulsa World when we lived in Broken Arrow, which is just outside of Tulsa. So this is a little bit closer to home than otherwise. To me, it seems like a whole lot of talk about nothing.
So I'll link to this article as well in the video. But the point is that this is fake news, and they're literally trying to sink the Trump ship. And they've taken off their mask of impartiality and pretended they did a few little pieces on Clinton corruption just to make it look like they were, but they dropped all the Clinton corruption. They're not talking about Loretta Lynch. They're not talking about Susan Rice. They're not after the truth. They have an agenda. And so, and then they portray themselves as being fair and balanced, and we're just printing news. That's all it is. This is what we're doing. But they're actively seeking out ways to bring down every single aspect of the Trump administration.
Right, and they don't have a way to do that because they don't have any truth. So they have to seek out actual facts that aren't dirt on the administration, because there really isn't any. They just want something to give them a plot for a news story. All right, you guys, this is Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it is not just a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Like, comment, subscribe, share these on your social media pages. We love you, God loves you, and God bless.
I was cold all alone, no place for home, every day so afraid. You called my name.